watching Let's Chat.
Glad to have you back here with us as we spend the final few minutes of the show this morning talking to our friend Rich Mozingo. Rich, the big man over at the Chattanooga Lookouts. Rich Mozingo, good morning.
Hey, good morning. How are you, brother?
I'm doing great. Glad to have a few minutes of your time here. Obviously, the news popped last week that the Lookouts will stay in Chattanooga. I don't want to really talk about what you're looking for as far as players next year and things like that are concerned. I want to talk about the impact the Lookouts, you in particular, have had on our community over the past several years. You guys support the better part of 70 families. Now think about that, 70 families, all because of the Lookouts organization. Obviously, it had to be a big weight off of your shoulders when you got the invitation from Major League Baseball to come back.
No, it's a huge deal. It was absolutely a huge deal. And what you're talking about, Chip, is so true. I mean, you know, we've got 16 full-time employees here. We have 300 part-time employees here. We've got probably 30 players, coaches, families, all that kind of stuff. The fact is, by the end of the year, 50 players will come through this city. So the economic impact of the Lookouts, I think, is pretty substantial. But when you take it to a personal level, there's an awful lot of people that were affected last Thursday when this thing came through. So we're just thrilled to be where we are and excited to be able to move forward a little bit.
What was it like for you personally being in limbo, because you guys didn't know which way the ball was going to bounce for the better part of 18 or 19 months? Yeah. What's it like being in limbo that long?
Well, you know, Chip, I mean, it was okay at the beginning. I mean, number one, you never want to be on that side of it. You never want to be in the scenario where you think you might be eliminated. Your job might be eliminated. And that's exactly where we were for a pretty decent amount of time. But, you know, we got super prepared for the 2020 season. That was going to happen. So we spent an awful lot of time, an awful lot of effort, an awful lot of thought getting ready for the 2020 season. And then the COVID pandemic started. So we stopped all operations at that point, and it really left us for about 8 months just to mull it over. And that's when it got tough, when we weren't working towards a goal of bringing people back to the ballpark. And what we had to think about was what might happen. And that was stressing on the staff, stressing on myself. So we're just super glad that part's over now.
And I know when the baseball season, just before it kicks off and all throughout the season, you're like a whirlwind. you're a top that never, ever stops. And I know it kind of came to a crashing halt for you for a pretty long time. What was it like when you got the news that, the Lookouts are coming back?
It was huge. It was a huge thing. And Chip, it wasn't only, it was to me, it was a lot more about the people around me. It was about the people that we hire and we employ here. The idea that they were going to be able to continue doing what they'd love to do. I mean, this is not a job for anyone to do. This is a job for people who have passion to do what we do. And we're really in the entertainment field. We get the opportunity 70 times a year to entertain Chattanooga, and Chattanooga takes us up on that invitation. So it's awfully fun to do what we do, but to be able to look out and see the other people that were involved and the other people that get to keep doing what they want to do and do it in a city like Chattanooga, which is amazing to me. That was such a big deal.
And at the bottom line is, while you are in the entertainment business, you are a business, and it takes a lot of money to keep the doors open every single month, whether you have money coming in or not.
Yeah, that's correct. The bill people don't care if you have money coming in or not. You still owe them.
Yeah, you were absolutely right. Am I overstepping my bounds if I ask you how much it costs to keep the doors open, even with no money coming in?
It is substantially north of, it's probably $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 a month just to keep this building running. And that's, you know, we've shut everything down. I mean, we furloughed every one of our employees, and we're still furloughed right this minute. So, you know, all we're talking about is just the basics, keeping water and electricity on, making sure our stadium is maintained, making sure that our equipment's still maintained. We're north of $10,000, $12,000, $15,000 every single month.
Well, we're awfully glad you kept all of those plates spinning in the air and everything balanced, which I know was certainly no easy job. As we end this broadcast, we were talking about what moment in Lookouts history best pairs with what Rich Mozingo has been going through. And this is the piece of tape that we found, and it'll flash you back to the year 2007, when Philip Wellman had his big meltdown
that's great.
in front of a packed stadium. Now,
That's fantastic.
Rich, I know you didn't have a meltdown like this, but I think you probably came pretty close to at least considering having a meltdown like this.
I think I did have that meltdown, but instead of doing it in a minute and a half, I did it over about 8 months. So, and no one caught it on camera, which is really good.
Rich, we're awfully glad to have had the opportunity to spend a few minutes with you on this Monday morning. You and I will talk soon. I hope you have a very, very Merry Christmas, all right? And I think the Lookouts coming back, probably about the best Christmas present you could have. We'll tell you when Lookouts tickets are going on sale and more. We'll see you here on Let's Chat.